Your live interactive weather authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive weather authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live weather authority coverage starts right now.
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon to you. We have a pretty busy afternoon across the state. We have already seen our first severe thunderstorm warning. That was over towards the Wiscasset area, moving down towards the mid-coast. That was from, I would say, about 1:20 or so through 2 o'clock this afternoon. So, yes, the action's already starting to get going across the state. We are looking at again, the chance for some showers and thunderstorms as we head through now through about 8 o'clock this evening. I would say that's when the storm threat will pretty much completely diminish. But anytime in between then, there will be some scattered showers. There will be some scattered thunderstorms. Some of them could be on the stronger to severe side as well. Not everybody's going to see a strong to severe thunderstorm for today. Of course, you guys know the rule. That's how it works. We're just going to see them in scattered areas across the state. Let's first get a look at the Doppler radar right now. Again, let's first start over in the mid-coast area. This is where there was a severe thunderstorm warning not too long ago. You notice it has weakened quite a bit. Areas like Wiscasset, over towards the Booth Bay area, you had you were at least in the severe thunderstorm warning. It may clip areas in Booth Bay Harbor up through Waldoboro, Washington as well. If you are over in Jefferson, you're looking at some heavy rain right now, also some thunderstorms in some spots as well. But we can actually put this on a loop over the last hour, and you see how it was much stronger about, say, an hour or so ago, and you notice how it slowly started to weaken. So that is some good news. Areas like Waldoboro over towards Rockland looking at some rain, some flashes of lightning, nothing severe with this anymore. The severe thunderstorm warning has since diminished in the this area where there was the history of producing upwards of 1-inch hail as well as 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So we did have a strong storm that has since weakened, but we are now kind of focusing over towards areas in southern Oxford County, over towards northern Cumberland County and northern York County as well. This is where we have our strongest storm in the state right now, and I can actually put the lightning tracker on this, and you see there's quite a bit of lightning associated with it. So if you are in areas in southern Oxford County over just south of Freiburg, it looks like it just passed through the Freiburg area, but over towards places like Raymond, you are going to get hit next. Areas in Sebago Lake, a lot of people out there on a Sunday afternoon over towards Sebago Lake looking at a pretty, I would say, intense thunderstorm, not a severe thunderstorm. This is what we would consider maybe a strong thunderstorm. That's not exactly the severe threshold, but Hiram looking at some heavy rain right now. Cornish, you're next over towards the Standish area as well. And as we put this in loop, you can see that we are looking at, again, areas. This is kind of just moving straight off towards the east. Maybe you could put a little east-southeast movement towards that. And let's track this out. If we put a pause on this now, we can kind of track this storm out. So let's do that. If you are in these areas over the next, say, hour or two, if you are in Sebago Lake, over towards Raymond, Windham, you're going to get hit with this as well. Assuming, of course, that this doesn't start to weaken over the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. And I really don't anticipate it to do so, as the I would say the more instability would be in the southern part of the state right now. That's where we have the highest dew points. That's where we have the temperatures that are the warmest, as well as we haven't been dealing with the rain throughout the morning. So if you are in Sebago Lake, if you have people that are out at Sebago Lake right now, especially out on the water, you certainly want to warn them that they may want to head indoors, because I'm sure things are starting to get pretty dark out there as well. That is, again, our biggest storm in the state right now. It's not a severe storm, but it is a stronger storm at that. Now, as we take a look just at the lightning tracker, you notice that there's two areas that we are looking at lightning right now, and that is, of course, what I was just talking about: southern Oxford County, northern Cumberland, northern York County. That's where we do have that storm over south of Freiburg, moving towards Sebago Lake right now. Rockland, you are going to see most of the action up to the north of you, but areas like Bar Harbor, you're going to get hit as well. That's kind of moving out of our area. That's well off towards the east. And then the hail forecast over the next half hour or so, you also notice there is the potential that we could see some hail with this storm. Let's zoom right into the storm I was just talking about up towards Sebago Lake. We could be talking about, hail upwards of a half inch to maybe a quarter of an inch in some spots. So this is something to keep an eye on. There is the potential for some hail with that storm as well as it moves into the Sebago Lake area. Now that is over the next half hour. That is the hail forecast. So there is the potential for that. If you, again, have anybody out on Sebago Lake right now, if you are at Sebago Lake watching on your phone right now, I would definitely head indoors because it's probably getting very dark, and we are going to see that potential. We'll head back to the radar in just a second, but let me zoom out a little bit. And you see that we have round one right here. I'm actually going to pause this right here. And this is what is round one of this system. So we have some showers and storms out there right now. Strong to severe is potential with this line that is moving through the southern and western part of the state right now. Again, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning about an hour ago close to the Wiscasset area. That is since kind of weakened. That is some good news. That's round one. All right. We are not done. We are not out of the neck of the woods as we head through the next hour or two as that line pushes down to the east. This is the front that's going to eventually move on through, and we are going to see this line that doesn't look impressive at all. You notice if you're up towards, northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, northern New York as well, this is kind of just some rain, some downpours here and there, but the instability isn't very high in that area. As you head down to the south, if you are in southern New Hampshire, if you are in southern Maine, areas down to the south of that is going to be our next line of storms that passes through, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8 o'clock this evening. And that, as it passes through, is going to bring us another chance for some showers and thunderstorms that could be on the stronger to severe side as we head through the evening hours. So that's what we'll be tracking 4 to 8 p.m. is what you have circled here. But again, it doesn't look impressive now. That is certainly going to change as we head through the next couple hours. This line is going to eventually move into a much more unstable air mass. And with that, we are going to see the potential for, again, the chance of maybe a stronger to severe storm. Now, I want to track this out for you guys over the next, say, hour, a couple hours. And this computer model, I'm not a big fan of what it's showing me because other computer models have a lot of this kind of moving through a little bit later on. This computer model is showing Portland at 4 o'clock getting a shower or thunderstorm. While, you can't rule that out because they can pop up very quickly. That also has most of this line moving down to the south after 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then we're out of the woods. I don't think that's the case. That's why, we don't just go off of one computer model. We look at all these different computer models, and a lot of the computer models are showing 6, 7, even upwards of 8 p.m. We could still be looking at some showers and storms that could be on the stronger to severe side, even during the 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock hours. So I would say don't completely follow this. I'm not a big fan of how it's by 6, 7 o'clock. It's already moving on with the shower and thunderstorm threat. I don't think that is going to be the case. Now, this is our storm threat as we head through the daytime today, and we'll get back to the radar before we finish this out, and then I'll get to some of your guys' comments. Now, we are looking at the wind. Damaging wind gusts with this is probably the best chance of I would say, damaging wind gusts is probably the highest threat, and then we're talking about hail and torrential rain. There is, however, a low risk, and I say low risk because it is a low risk for a spin-up brief weak tornado. Now, I don't want to, freak anybody out, but we are going to I'm just reporting what I'm seeing here, and I do think the instability is in place for a potential very small brief tornado. So that it's not completely ruled out, but that is not the primary threats. The primary threat is damaging wind gusts. We did have that severe thunderstorm warning that did pass down through the mid coast, and that had reports of upwards of 50, maybe 60 mile an hour wind gusts. So I'll be interested to see if there was any damage reports out of that storm that passed through parts of the mid coast, really inland from the mid coast. And then torrential downpours. Some of these storms could kind of be on the slower moving side, or what we call the training effect, where it kind of just keeps developing over one area. And, all of a sudden you get half inch or an inch of rain in 20, 30 minutes of time, or you get 1 to 2 inches of rain in an hour's time. And we're talking then, you're going to be looking at the potential for some isolated flash flooding, ponding on the roadways. You know the deal. And then hail is certainly a potential as we head through the daytime today as well. I'm going to get to some of your guys' comments. I just want to pull up the radar first, and then we'll get back to some comments. Now, David, Raymond. So yes, looks like Raymond is going to get hit. Let's actually zoom into that storm right now. If you are in the Raymond Sebago Lake area, you are likely to get hit. Right. If you're in Naples right now, you're getting hit pretty good. Let me put on the lightning tracker with this, and you can see we do have the lightning associated with it. The north side of Sebago Lake is already starting to see the heavy rain. You're probably down towards the Standish area in the southern part of the state, or not state, southern part of the lake. Thinking, man, it looks really dark up there. Yeah, well, if you are, get inside because it's going to start pouring very likely over the next, say, half hour or so. And let me put this in track, and you can see that it is very slowly going to move on down to the south. And, it's actually kind of interesting. You see here, I'm going to put a pause on this, and you might not think too much of something like this. You see that little guy right there? I'm going to put this in play, and that's actually the gust front out ahead of that storm, indicating that, yeah, there could be some pretty strong gusty winds with this as well. Let me put this into motion. You can see that it kind of moves down to the south. So you're probably looking at some gusty winds in spots in these areas, Naples down through Raymond, certainly going to hit areas like Standish as you head over the next, say, half hour or so. So you certainly want to be prepared. Again, this is not a severe thunderstorm warning, so we don't have wind gusts 60 miles per hour, but even 40, 45, 50 mile an hour wind gusts could certainly cause some damage in some spots, some, branches and things like that. Let me pause this really quick. So zoom in a little bit closer. Area, Raymond, you're going to get hit. Sebago, Hiram, you've been getting hit for the last half hour or so. Cornish, down through the Porter area as well. Good amount of lightning associated with this. The winds, again, we are going to see some gusty winds with this as well. Now, let me get to some more comments. Gorham, Destiny, Gorham right now. That's a good. Let me play this out. And I think Gorham might miss out on this storm just by judging by the track of it. I would say, and I can actually track this out again for anybody who's just joining me here. Let me do that. Let me put this pause on it, and then I'll track this storm out with you guys. And you can see it's kind of moving in this sort of a direction. So these are the areas that need to keep an eye on. If you're in areas like Gray, it's probably on the north side of you. You may get some lightning, you may get some thunder, and then some heavy downpours as well. And who knows? I mean, by the time we get to the Brunswick, Freeport area, this storm could start to weaken. So who knows what'll happen with this? But if you are in the areas of Freeport, Brunswick, you want to at least just keep an eye out. If you have plans, you're going out to go mow the lawn or something like that, you may want to make sure that you don't get hit with this thunderstorm because it could continue to stay as strong, or it could weaken, or it could get stronger and turn into a severe storm. So we are going to keep an eye on that storm in particular. Right now, that's the strongest storm in the state. The only other one that we really have that's showing a good amount of lightning is starting to kind of move out of our area, but areas like Belfast looking at some pretty good downpours, some lightning associated with that as well. And that is going to move right along the coastline. So areas like Bar Harbor might get hit, Deer Isle, as we head through the next, I would say, half hour or so. This is going to continue to move on off towards the east. You see the kind of direction with these storms. It's more of an east-southeast trend. So we are going to see that continue to move on off towards the east. Now, let me pull this out. Give me 1 second. Let's go back to this, and I'll get back to some of you guys' comments here. Stephanie, hello to you. You are welcome, Steph. Thank you for tuning in. Connor Kane. Does the thunder and lightning that went over the mountains and foothills this morning cut the severe threat? I would say it certainly diminishes it a lot. I was looking at some of the here and now of how the instability looks across the state, and it looks like the southern part of the state is really where you're probably going to see the severe threat as we head through the afternoon. Now, I would say the best chance for your severe threat would be Route 2 south. And then, that includes areas like down through York County, southern New Hampshire as well. We are going to see this severe threat continue, not only for right now, but as we zoom out and I show you a different radar, you can see that we do have this other line that is going to continue to produce as we head over the next couple hours. Now, I actually want to draw this line out, and you can see this is going to be our next threat is right here. So round number 1 is passing through Oxford County, northern Cumberland, northern York County right now. That's going to continue to pass down to the south and east. And then that's our next line as we head through the evening hours, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., moving through Burlington, moving through northern New Hampshire right now. Rutland, Vermont, going to get some showers and downpours. None of this is severe. None of this is really even looking super impressive right now, but it's also not in an area that has great instability. So as it moves into an area that has seen more sunshine through the daytime today, that has higher dew points, that has higher temperatures, as it moves into these types of areas, these storms can very quickly fire up, and they can also become severe in some spots as well. So again, just keep an eye out to the sky as we head through the next couple hours. But again, I really want to just hone in on the Sebago Lake area. And if you are north of really Gorham, Portland area, especially if you're to the north of that, I would say that storm is going to continue to move down to the east as we head through the next several hours. Areas like Wiscasset along the mid coast, you may get hit again with that storm that is passing through Sebago Lake right now. So I will continue to update this over the next, I'll probably be on here another 1 or 2 times as we head through the daytime today. I have to say during the weekends, sometimes the 6 p.m. or 6:30 today can get cut off to where we don't even have a show. Hopefully we can get a show. Hopefully we can get on so I can update you guys. If not, I will certainly do a Facebook Live and I will keep you guys updated. I'm sure I'll be back on here another at least time or 2 as we head through the next, say, couple hours through the nighttime tonight, through about 8 o'clock. Let me get to a couple more comments and then we'll head on out of here. Downpouring in Naples. Yes, it is pouring in the Naples area right now. Raymond, you're going to get it. Sebago Lake in general is getting it. And unfortunately, it happens on a Sunday in the middle of July. So it's not the best of time for sure. Big storm in Baldwin. Jim, thank you for letting me know that as well. And yeah, so Augusta, this is, Augusta, I think you're okay for the next couple hours. If you're up towards Augusta and if in Lewiston right now, if you're in Lewiston, you're probably looking at some rain. You may even hear some thunder in the distance because really the thunderstorm is over towards Sebago Lake. So if you're in Lewiston right now, you're likely looking at some rain, maybe some downpours, depending on which side of the city you're in or something like that. But if you're in Lewiston, you may get a little bit of rain right now. Augusta, I think you're okay for the moment. I would say your bigger threat would be this line that's going to develop off to our west as we head through the evening hours, 4 to 8 p.m., and that is passing through the Vermont and the New Hampshire and New York area right now. Portland, I think that storm passes up to the north. I know a lot of you guys are watching from Portland area as well. So just keep an eye. Again, the biggest storm right now is certainly down towards the Sebago Lake area. If you're in this area, if you're down towards the mid-coast, Freeport, over towards Brunswick, Wiscasset as well, you're going to want to keep an eye to the sky. Things are going to certainly start to get a little dark as we head through the next couple hours. So a lot of comments coming in. I do want to pull this up. Hale and Raymond. Thank you, David. That is a great report. Certainly appreciate those types of reports, and continue to follow my page as well. I will continue to update this, and please send me any damage reports that you get or any reports. Comment on my Facebook page or do anything you can. I love to get reports. I love to know any down trees or down power lines, or hey, did you get hail? Do you have any flash flooding reports? Any reports, I certainly welcome them. So please stay in tune and just keep an eye to the sky today. If you hear the thunder, head inside. That is for sure. So I'm going to end this here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If I didn't get to your comment, I apologize. I appreciate all the comments though. And I will be back on later on, especially depending on if we have a show at 6:30 or not, but try to tune in assuming we do have a show. And I will see you guys later. I'll be back on later on this evening, and especially if there's any more updates as we head through the next couple hours. But I think the severe threat runs through about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. All right, everybody, have a good one and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.